Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Aplicar, the training session initiated by Aplicar. As other people are still joining in, guys, so I would request to wait for another, I would say, couple of minutes, and we will start the session. Thank you.
Poonam, you're not audible.
All right, I'm sorry, guys. So I just wanted to welcome you all to yet another session, conducted by Aplicar on the new initiatives which have been taken by the USA government to attract more talent in the STEM courses. We will wait for another 2 minutes because a lot of people are joining this session, so that they don't miss anything important. Guys, I would appreciate your cooperation. Just 2 more minutes and we will start. Thank you so much. All right, guys, I cannot keep you waiting, and we will admit more people as they join. All right, so once again, for people who have just joined last second, I would say welcome to Aplicar. And as always, Aplicar is presenting another session on the new initiatives which have been taken by the US government to attract more talent in the STEM courses. Now, guys, I'm sure that you would ask, and a lot of people ask, what is STEM? We all know in the layman's language, what exactly is the STEM? But yes, STEM means something different when we actually talk about the courses or the programs in US or Canada. So today we are going to talk about what are these STEM courses, what are the policies which have been changed, in the recent, I would say, days. By the US government. What are the benefits of taking up these STEM courses? What are the job opportunities which students actually get? And most of all, what is the latest news about the STEM courses? To enlighten you all on these, we have got with us Ms. Prerna Dheer, who is the training lead here at Aplicar for US. And she's going to enlighten you. She's going to explain each and every thing about the STEM courses. If you have any questions, any doubts, you are more than welcome to ask any questions, and this is the platform where you can get your answers about the STEM courses. Over to you, Ms. Prerna. Thank you.
Thank you, Poonam. Thank you. I hope everything is fine at your end, and a very good afternoon to all of you. I hope everyone is going good these days, as we all know that the COVID has picked up with the numbers again, right? So very welcome to all of you. So starting up with the session today, I'm going to share my screen. So today we'll be talking about the STEM and its opportunities in the US, right? So here we go with that. So what is STEM? What do you understand by the word STEM, right? So hi, am I audible? Yeah. Poonam, am I audible? Could you please confirm?
Yes, Prerna, you're audible.
All right, fine, perfect. So what do you understand by the word STEM? STEM means it is basically an education group, right? In the US that focuses on the studies areas like science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. This encourages the student to study in the specific four fields of it and in an interdisciplinary and applied approach manner. So the students who are doing this education in the field of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, right? So they are going with a one combined subject of all these four fields, right? So they are not doing it separately with the science, technology, engineering, or mathematics. So they are making them ready for a new market, right? With the new techniques, new approaches in the world, right? So this is called a real world application for a STEM. So what if I make you understand STEM in a lame language? So what does it means is like in STEM, the students are getting with 24 months of extension for their visa under an F1, right? That's the study visa. So they get an extension for additional 24 months for an OPT, that is optional practical training. So that is STEM, right? So any student going for graduation, going for their masters, for going for undergraduate degree or anything into the PhD, they are going with this and having doing with the program for that, they'll be getting a 24 months extension for it. Okay, so they are eligible to go for it. 24 months of OPT period, optional practical training. So this is generally a STEM course means, right? So whether you are particularly going with a program into a STEM based on the curriculum, you are not sure that your degree is a STEM designated degree or not, right? So to get a confirmation specifically for the students who are going for the masters, they are going for masters, they have to get it checked with the university website, or they can directly mail it to the university to know whether their degree is designated as a STEM designated degree that is falling into that particular field, right? Is it a STEM designated? They can check it with the university for that, right? So next is, what are the benefits of going into the STEM courses, right? So if we talk about the benefits of going into the STEM courses, that will be getting a 21st century skills, right? The students who are going for a STEM degree, they will be able to get, as we know that we are in a 21st century right now. So we are growing with the technology, growing with new economics, right? So for that, we are into a 21st century and the job market has changed for now. Okay, so they are now coming up with, the companies are looking up for new graduates who are very curious and innovative, love to do some experiments, so are good to complex with solving the problems in the market. They are coming up with the things. STEM, these are the skills in the students at a very early stage in the life, they get to know about it. And it teaches them how to think critically and be realistic about the phases of rejection, and shows them how to adapt the new situations in the life that can help them, right? So that is the benefit of doing with a STEM. Now, what are the STEM courses? So here is the list of some of the STEM courses. This is not a full list of STEM courses, but just to give an overview about what are the STEM courses for that, right? So any field into the engineering, that is computer engineering, aerospace engineering, civil engineering, chemical, biochemistry, biomedical, biotechnology engineering, so anything that falls into it, and programs like astronomy, biochemistry, statistics, psychology, data science, data analytics. So these are some of the courses that falls under the STEM courses. So this is not exactly, as I said, this is not the complete list of courses, right? So there are many more to go with that. So as we all know, there are new policies which are taken up with the which are taken up by the US, right? So now I'll be coming up with that also. Okay, so in terms, if I talk about in the career paths and all for the STEM courses, right? So some of these subjects subjects will offer a quite straightforward progression to the particular careers. Like aerospace engineering is an example I'm giving you, that if a student is going for an aerospace engineering, is likely to lead into a graduate job working for one of the world's major aircraft designer or so, right? So students who are going for a non-STEM related graduate jobs in this field are more obvious. Through, for example, like the student who is going for a STEM degree could lead to a career which working into a specific effects like Hollywood, working into helping them to design a new sportswear or revolutionary. So all these things they can go with, right? It is not like the students who have done with something into the computer science, they will lead to go with some computer science. They can go into all these like designing some Hollywood movies and all backgrounds. So helping them to design new sportswear and all these things. So that will be okay. So next is benefits, as I was talking about. So that is 21st century skills, which I said that the as the economy is growing and technology is taking over the things. So 21st century job market has changed now. So companies are looking for something for some graduates who are very curious, I would say innovative, and love to experiment with new things and are good to solve at complex problems. So the companies are looking for those people right now. And if I talk about the higher pays and all, so if I say that STEM students are trained in 21st century skills and find it easier to get a job, so it follows that these students are offered higher pay, right? So this means that if you are a STEM graduate student, you will be earning somewhere around between 87,000 US dollars to 128,000 US dollars per annum. This is more than what is known in the year 2014, right? So what to do with at the age of 24, the people who are in the age of 24 are now starting earning with somewhere around 87,000 to 128,000 US dollars per annum. So what is another benefit? That is better job opportunities. So several countries across the world, we know that including US, Ireland, New Zealand, Canada, are making it easier for STEM graduate to get their job. So even the universities in the countries are helping STEM students in many ways. Students have to have an opportunity to learn from amazing teachers. They use latest technology and in turn or work with industry leaders like the Google, Tesla, and Netflix. All these, they have better job opportunities to work in, right? So live anywhere in the world. If you are a STEM, have done your degree into a STEM designated, so you can live anywhere in the world, right? You can stay, you can get migrated to any other country. Like Canada is most welcoming the STEM designated people, right? And New Zealand, Ireland, you name the country, are ready to take up with that, right? So for example, in the New Zealand, as we all know, that has an exclusive website for foreign immigrants skilled in certain areas. right? So they are welcoming them for it. Be it Canada or US, or I say Singapore, Australia, Ireland, Switzerland, any country, right? So they are welcoming the people for it. And they have been giving a better chance of getting a citizenship over there, right? So next is the STEM careers. So if I talk about the STEM careers in the field of science, there are many options you have in your hand. It can be into pharmaceutical, pharmacology, pharmacist, crime scene investigator, food technologist, right? Dietitians, doctors, nurses, toxicologists, and many more options you have to go into the science. Then if I talk about into the technology, you can be into the business analytics, then cybersecurity and teaching, developing, consulting IT teaching, website designing, graphic designing, and application development. So you have all these options, many more to go with that, right? And then if I talk about the STEM careers into engineering, so as I said, engineering, there are many of options to go for engineering for it, right? Like aerospace engineering, civil engineering, then we have it for mechanical engineering, computer engineering, nuclear engineering, right? So these are some of the options you can look in for something into the engineering, biotechnology, and or in many more to go for that. And if I talk about in the mathematics, you have the programs and the careers for that is, it can be a statistics, actuarial analyst, data analytics, then maths teacher or HR in some some college, you have that opportunity with that, then investment analyst, and many more opportunities you have in the field of mathematics in your career to go for that, right? So when I talk about the new policies, as I said in the beginning of my session, that US has came up with the new policies for the STEM. So what are those new policies which are come up with the STEM, under the STEM, that for, if I talk about in the F1, right? So F1 STEM optional practical training has been expanded to 22 new degrees in the field. So they have come up with new programs in the field of, they have added a new 22 new fields of study for international students, right? US has now given that. So if I talk about that programs into it, they are journal forestry, then forest resources production. They have given it into human-centered technology design, cloud computing, anthropology, climate science, financial analytics, business and data analytics, data science, right? Geobiology, geography and environmental studies, mathematical economics, mathematics, and atmospheric and oceanic sciences, general data science, general data analytics, and many more. There are 22 now. They have added 2 new degree fields into it, right? So next is STEM students, which are going for the J1 visa, that is exchange visitor program. So they are going for that. Earlier, they were given an extension of 8 months, right? Now they have given it to approval for 36 months of OPT stay back period under a J1 exchange visitor program, right? So now the students who are going for a J1 program, J1 exchange visitor program, they can now stay up for up to 36 months on their J1 visa, and which has increased from 18 months now. And the new, if I talk about the new policy for guidance address, this is basically for the people who are going for a national interest waiver for permanent labor certification in the green card process. So for them, they have given a guidance that they can clarify the eligibility of entrepreneurs for the NIW. They can stay back over there. The STEM field for OIA, extraordinary ability non-immigrant category, for the national interest waiver, NIW. They can stay back for certification labor under a green card process. So this is a new guidance which clarifies that the eligibility of entrepreneurs under it has been a stay back option for them too over there. Right? So this is all about it. Now I am ready to take with your questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prerna, for giving us this insight into STEM. What is STEM? What are the new policies? What are the new degrees and courses which have been added to this stream so that the students have more opportunities, more courses which they can take up under this STEM. And thank you so much for telling us the benefits that why a student should be taking a STEM program, the extension of the work, of course, that we have for the students. Now, of course, students get excited with the work opportunities because ultimately this is something that they really wanted to do. Now, we have got a lot of questions already. So let us just take it up one by one. And I request you all to please type your questions in the Q&A box so that we can take them one by one. All right, so the first question is psychology also under STEM?
Yes, I would say psychology is now under the STEM designated degree. So they have added STEM for psychology too. Earlier it was, as it is a psychiatrist, they were known as doing with a STEM designated degree. But now as psychology is already a very vast degree, as we all know that. So there are schools, counseling, they can do into psychiatrist, anything related into the medicine that is called, that falls itself into the STEM designated.
All right, great. Thank you so much. I think, Renu, that answers your question. We have a question from Mr. Mehul Roy. Please brief the process of OPT in STEM.
Okay, so if I talk about the OPT under the STEM, that students who are going for STEM programs in the US, so they'll be taking up with in general, they'll be having 1 year of OPT. Right? For a non-STEM degree, they are getting a 1 year of OPT period, that's optional practical training. Right? And under the STEM, that OPT period is extended with 24 months. To get an extension from the US for their degree for 24 months, firstly, they have to complete with their 1 year OPT. Once they are about to complete with their 1 year OPT period, then they can file a case for their another 24 months of extension. While doing with their studies, they cannot take an extension for their OPT period. It is once they are about to clear with they are done, about to over with their 1 year of OPT period, which is general to all the students. So once they are about to over with that period, at that time, they can put an application to the immigration department in the US and get an extension for next 24 months. I hope I have answered the question.
Yes, Mehul, I believe that it answers your question. In case if you have anything extra to ask, please type in the Q&A box. Also, how much study gap is accepted by universities and colleges for masters? This is something, which is question is coming from JB Immigration.
Okay, so if we talk about the gap acceptance in the US, it is minimum of 1 year you can go ahead without any justification. The universities are accepting right now. If you have some work experience, like you are doing after your graduation, you are doing some job or so, it is for, let's say for 5 years or 7 years or higher than that, that is justifiable, right? So that not counts as a gap. So this is acceptable in the US. Anything apart from 1 year of gap you are doing, more than 1 year of gap, you have to justify with the university. Less than 1 year, that is acceptable in the US.
Okay, all right. So is there any gap, specifically for STEM courses, as in, this is in general that we have spoken about, but is there anything required for STEM courses specifically?
No, it's the same. That is nothing is there. So it's same in the US. They can go ahead with that.
All right, great. Also, Renu is asking, also in your slide you had business as a STEM degree. Is that correct? As business has nothing common with STEM. So yeah, a lot of partners of ours actually they get confused. So they really want to ask, whether business programs come under STEM courses.
Yes. See, there are many degrees in the business program. If I talk about like business analytics is there, that's a STEM designated degree. Then supply chain management is there. That is again a STEM designated degree. So statistics, anything related to economics or anything related that falls into the MBA degree. Let's say the student is going for MBA in business analytics, right? So that is a STEM degree. If it falls,
All
whether
right.
it falls MS, that is masters in business analytics, or MBA in business analytics, that's a STEM degree. Supply chain management MBA, that is a STEM degree, right?
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Prerna. And of course, Guru, I think that is, already answered, but then does business analytics come under STEM? I think you
Yeah.
said yes, business analytics. And what about BBA? Renu is asking, is Bachelor's of Business Administration a STEM degree?
No, business administration is not a STEM degree. If any specialization the student choose to go for, like as I said, process management is there, that is a STEM degree, right? Then business analytics is a STEM. Any specialization student choose and it's a STEM designated, then yes, it will be a STEM designated under the business program.
Okay, so basically we can say that the STEM courses or the STEM programs are interdisciplinary courses and
Yes.
they focus on the applied approach. So when you are applying the studies, in a program where they have this practical implication. So these are the STEM courses. We really cannot really categorize as such because, guys, we want to tell you that not all the science programs are STEM courses. I think Prerna, you
Very
can
true.
throw some light on that. That not all
Yeah.
the STEM science courses are STEM courses, not all the maths courses are STEM courses, not all technology courses are, and business
Very true,
courses. Yeah.
Poonam. Yeah.
So would you like
So
to elaborate on that? Yeah.
yeah, see, so as I said, we have taken up psychology. Psychology is a science program, but that is not actually a STEM program, right? Psychology, which carries with anything which is related to the applied approach, what you have done, so interdisciplinary. So these things matters, right? So anything related to the medicine, which requires your approach as applied approach, right? So that will be called as a STEM designated degree. So anything into the analytics, analysis, where analysis is required, right? So that is called a STEM. That
Okay.
falls under
Uh,
a STEM.
all right. Great. We have a question from Mr. Ketan. Will universities have to apply to get STEM designation for the 22 new streams, or will all such courses become STEM designated courses all across, options in these 22 new fields that we just spoke about by default, or they have to do something extra for that?
See, they need to check it with the university website, as I said, that specifically for the master's student who are going for the master's, they need to check whether their degree is STEM designated or not. Right, so they can check it on the university website, or they can directly write it to the university and check whether their program, which they are looking to go for, is a STEM designated, right? So it is not sure that whatever it is mentioned, the programs, the new STEM degrees, which are now counted into the STEM, under the STEM, will be as in a STEM, automatically falls into the STEM with all the universities. Because see, they have to get a from the DHS department that this is a STEM designated degrees, right? So they have to get an approval from the department to get it under a STEM designation. The universities need to get that. So once that is done, then yes, their degree is under a STEM designation.
All right. Thank you so much, Prerna. You have definitely taken this up, in your presentation, but then a lot of people, I think, joined in late. So they want to know, what about the students who are coming from the arts stream? How they can take up and what courses they can take up in this STEM.
Okay, so students who are coming in from the arts background, like They have done, as I said, they have done with something into the social work, sociology, or something related to that. I would recommend that they should look out for something into some job experience, into some like MBA programs they can go in for. They can do some job experience and then come up with the jobs into the business programs, as I said, process management and all. But it is little tough for the art students to get into the STEM degree designated programs in the US, because the choices for art students is not much for them.
Right,
Right.
absolutely, you're right. And also, Prerna, if you can just touch upon this fact, once again, that what are the benefits of STEM program? I think you've spoken about the work, the extension, the student actually get. But still, if you can just, because a lot of people are asking if they can know the benefits, because they have to convince the student, right, to take up the STEM courses. So, what's the
Okay.
benefit? Yeah.
See, the benefit of getting into the STEM courses is that they'll be getting a high pace, right? As I said, the student who are going for the STEM, they are getting a very high pay scale, ranging between 87,000 US dollars to 120,000, $120,000 US
Right.
dollars, right? So this is one of the benefit, because the students in the US, as we all know, that the education is very, very expensive. So if we are putting up that much of amount, then ROI should also be a very good return on the investment what we have done. So should be there something. So students falling under the STEM, they are earning this much. Wherein if the students who are going for the non-STEM programs, they are earning somewhere around 47,000 US dollars per annum. So that is an average figure I'm giving it to you. It can be, that's an average, as I said, it can be less, it can be high, but that's an average of 47,000 US dollars, right? So pay scale is definitely going to be really high for them. And as we all know that it is a 21st century, new technologies are coming up, and the companies are also looking up for someone who have a new has gained a new things, have a good knowledge about that, and can apply with all that knowledge practically with them. So they are looking for all those people. Then better job opportunities are also there for the people, right? For the STEM designated people, like they can work with the Google, they can work with Netflix, they can work with Tesla, and many more options with them. And yes, of course, not the least but last, so it is they can get a migration for any of the country after doing with the US degree, and they gain an experience, let's say, of 2 years minimum in the US, right? They can apply for a direct PR for Canada. And I know Canada is, as we all know that
Right.
Canada is more in people they are looking to go for, because they are giving a PR, right? So PR in Canada is very easier than in US. We all know that it is tough to get with a residency. So you earn a degree from the US for at least for 2 years, and gain an experience from there for at least 2 years, and then take a migration for Canada or for any other country. They are most welcoming the people, specifically from US.
Right. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Preena. And before I take up the next question, I would request, please, type your questions in the Q&A box or in the chat box, since you're already doing. This is, of course, a great chance to ask about the STEM courses or any confusions that you had. So the second question we have here is, would Aplicar be adding a filter to choose only STEM designated courses options in USA on their platform? Yes, absolutely. As you know, that Aplicar is always striving to make your life easier and always, bringing new. You all know that we recently added a new feature wherein you can request the student assessments directly from the portal. So earlier you were emailing the profiles of the students to Aplicar, but now you can directly click on request student assessment and you can upload the documents. You can, give brief information about the student, and the assessment team, immediately works on that application and suggests you a lot of courses according to the eligibility of the student. Now, since we launched this feature, of course, we are going to launch another feature. Of course, stay tuned for that. We, of course, would have an option where you can choose the STEM courses. Now, Prerna, next question is any university available on Aplica portal where we can apply for STEM programs without IELTS? Is that a possibility, Prerna?
I would recommend that if not IELTS, then any of the language test would be recommended to take it up. See, getting an offer letter from the university is easier. What about the visa? As we all know that the US has waived off for the visa interview for the year 2022. So it is again going to be a little tough for getting a visa from the US because they are going to put it into the applications, right, to the embassy. So embassy is the one on the basis of the app on your all the documents who is going to take the decision for the visa. Earlier, it was on the basis of the interview. The student faces one-on-one interview with the visa officers. That makes them easy because their fluency and all their way of giving the answers are seen in front. But now what they have to get into with the documents they will judge the student. So it is recommended, if not IELTS, then recommended check with the Duolingo, at least one of the language tests. Right, but yes, you have the options. We have an options in our Aplica portal where you can apply for the STEM designated programs without IELTS, but it is recommended to have any of the language test.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Prerna. Now, honestly, if in layman's language, if we understand, because from the questions, I believe that, we still have a lot of confusions amongst the partners. Now, guys, please understand like this, country like USA or Canada, they have shortfall of some talent, right? And talent in specific fields, if we talk about, right? If we have the shortfall, the government is taking steps, and inviting people to join their STEM courses. And these STEM courses are preparing the students in specific fields, specific technology, specific know-how, and the applied approach. So if they are doing this, they are really seeking applications from the qualified students. Now, of course, I understand a lot of students would want to do STEM courses, but then they would say that, okay, I haven't done IELTS or I haven't done any language proficiency test. But then please, understand this thing that we are going to present them a complete package, right? A student who has got that knowledge, who has got that language skill as well, because of course, US is a English speaking country. And if the student is not able to communicate properly, then, we really feel that, it wouldn't be, or he or she wouldn't be doing great in the course as well. I mean, of course, we know that we have got Aplicar has got a lot of universities and colleges, which accept applications without IELTS. But as I would say, as a moral responsibility, we always recommend that to guide your student in a way that he or she takes up the IELTS or any language proficiency test, because IELTS, we say that because it's widely accepted by most of the colleges and universities, right? So of course we can give you a lot of options, Gaurav, but then we would definitely recommend to take up any language proficiency test, to at least take up the STEM program, right? And I'm sure Reina would resonate on the same. Yeah, so I have got another question that what are the new policies, Prerna, that the government has taken for the STEM?
Yeah, do you want me to share the screen again or shall I
Yeah,
talk it? Yeah.
yeah, that would be great because I think, somebody's asking. So yeah, if you can just share the screen quickly and quickly recapitulate what are the new policies that the government has taken for STEM.
Sure. Thank you. So here it is. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, Prerna, we are able to see that.
Great. So if I talk about the new policies which are taken up by the US government for the STEM policies, that is, firstly, it is the F1 visa for students who are going for the F1. They have added 22 new degrees in the field of STEM, right? So that includes, these are some of the examples, which includes like the computer science, mathematical economics, data science and data analytics, business, financial analytics. So these are some of the programs which are now fall under the STEM, right? So there are many more, like if I talk about, it's the human-centered technology is there, then cloud computing is there, economics and computer science is there, right? Earlier it was only the computer science. Now economics and computer science is a program which is now added into the STEM, right? So the list is very vast. If I talk about the 22 new courses have been added on into it. The next is the students who are going for the J1 visa, that is exchange visitor programs in the US. They were earlier given to go with the 18 months of exchange, and that is OPT period. But now they have given an extension of 36 months under the OPT to the J1 students, right? The next is that the USCIS, that we call is the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, it is actually. So they have now come up with the guidance address that the workers who are going into the STEM, right, they can get a permanent labor certification in the green card process now. That is the national interest waiver. So they can, these are the 3 new policies which were taken up by the US government.
Okay, great, Prerna. Thank you so very much. So as we all know that new policies have been, initiated, and we have got new degrees under the STEM. We have another question from Mr. Bhanu. Mr. Bhanu, would you like to please type your question? I have unmuted you as well in case if you want to speak up, please. Okay, Bhanu is asking, is it only applicable for USA, these STEM courses, Prerna?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
Okay, so these STEM courses are available only in the USA, or it is available otherwise as well, like in other countries as well?
Other countries as well. So the US, but for the 22 new courses, if I talk about, it is taken by the US government. But yes, if we talk about the STEM programs that are available in the other countries too.
Right. So Banu, I hope that answers your question. So guys, anything, of course, I mean, if not, as I mentioned earlier, that not all the science programs or technology programs or engineering programs, or for that matter, mathematics programs come under STEM, though STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, but not all the courses come under STEM. These are the designated courses. These are the specific skill-based courses, which of course you have to check on the university website or college website. And otherwise, you can always reach out to your Aplicar's account manager, the person who is in touch with you, or you can go to just log into Aplicar portal, just click on the chat button, and you will get your answer quickly. As I mentioned, there is another feature which will actually help you get the student's profile assessed. So let's say if you're sending the student's profile with, to us, like what is the percentage of the student, what is the language proficiency test he or she has taken, we will suggest you, and you can definitely mention there in the message box that, hey, the student is looking for a STEM program. We'll certainly get back to you with a lot of options, whatever is available as per the eligibility of the student. Right. All right, Banu. Banu is saying thanks, Prerna. So I think we have covered all the questions, guys. One more time, I would like to request you to, if you have any questions, please post that on the chat box or in the Q&A box. We would love to take that up. Okay, so no questions. People are thanking for the wonderful session. All right, Prerna, thank you so much for sharing the insights and enlightening us on the new STEM policies that the US government has taken. This will certainly help all our counselors and partners, to counsel the student in the right direction. So
No
once
problem.
again, guys, thank you
That.
so very much. Yeah.
Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Poonam, and thank you
Thank you
everyone.
so much, Prerna. Thank you, everyone. Do remember that if you have any confusions, any questions, any doubts, Aplicar is always with you. So your first point of contact is always your account manager. In case if you are not able to reach out to you, please do write at info@aplicar.io. Please log into your portal, connect on the chatbot, and somebody is waiting to answer your questions. With that, thank you so very much, and I wish you a very good day ahead. I hope you stay healthy and stay safe, of course, and a lot of applications for Applicar. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye bye, everyone.